All right, so we got Josh in here working tonight, and I wanted to do this video because me and another guy, one of my customers, we had a nice conversation going back and forth between comparing the fuel mileages on the single wheel versus the dually. And his argument, which I know we're going to go back and forth on this, I'm curious on a couple of things. He had a dually, that white with the flatbed, and then my truck has the single wheel. I think he said something about there's more rubber on the road with the dually, but in my opinion, I think I actually have more rubber on the road because I have the 12 wide, so between the front and rear. But I have had a boost leak in this truck for a long time. Since I installed these, apparently it's had a boost leak, those hoses. So this has been leaking ever since. We're going to go over some fuel mileage numbers. But, oh, sorry, Josh behind me. Now, my comparison here is I generally do about 80-ish miles an hour. The speed limits down in Texas are like 85, so like I've been doing a lot of out west stuff and this and that. But generally in between 72 and 85 is like where I like to cruise. This truck weighs about 9,700 pounds. It has a boost leak, and I'm going to show you guys what I've gotten for fuel mileage, because you can see here 318,441. If I come over here and turn the key on, let me turn all that shit off, we are at about 1,853.3 miles on this tank of fuel. That is with, and I still have a half a tank in the small tank. Now, I drove up from, I think Texas. I drove up from Texas, empty, just cruising. And before I got home, because obviously I'm doing a bunch of city driving now, but all highway, I was getting about an average of about 550 miles to a tank. With a boost leak, to an eighth of a tank. Mind you, I was doing 80 mile an hour.
I don't care.
So, and that's about where I was at. So I want you guys to do some comparisons and let me know where your trucks are at. I am going to do a new comparison when we get this new, this is a Gates boot. This was like 80 bucks. And I was trying to find one locally, but unfortunately these bastards, like it took a week to get here. So I've been waiting on that for a long time. So we're going to install that tonight and see where it is. I am going to order the, I think Far From Stock sells it, the cover that goes over this, because you can see we've already got bugs and shit in it. I'm going to spray it out basically the same way I did Josh's truck. But I want you guys to go over some numbers with me and let me know what y'all trucks are getting. And don't be sitting here and telling me your truck gets 25 to 30 miles a gallon. Most people are full of shit and aren't actually calculating it correctly. Like, I think this truck was getting about 16 to 18 if I had to guess. Because I'm filling from the aux tank at about 550 down to an eighth a tank. So I'm not, I could probably get about 575 miles down to absolute E. But unless you have a two-wheel drive stick shift, if you're doing highway miles, I could see a two-wheel drive stick shift. Like, I could see Josh's truck. I could see your truck getting 25 mpg. If you're just doing 72 constantly and just chilling and you went to drive 600 miles, I think you could get 600 miles easily.
At least 20. That towing 10,000.
No, I'm saying empty. I'm saying no trailer, just say you drove from Texas to Pennsylvania.
No, I'm saying that towing 10,000 pounds gets the same fuel economy as an SUV, just empty.
Yeah, but that's also 354 gears, stock-ish size tires, close, a little bit taller, but about the same narrow. Steel wheels, 354 gearing, and a 6-speed manual with a decent-sized turb ski, some fuel upgrades. If that was stock, though, I could definitely see 28 miles a gallon out of that. If you were just cruising highway with 354s.
You do a few upgrades with it. I mean, I'm not fucking, I have a lead foot, so.
No, I'm saying like good air filter, good fuel filter, stock truck, 354 gearings with some governor springs. I could see it getting.
Pop the timing a little.
Yeah, I could see it getting that. But like, it's definitely hard to do that. So I want to hear your guys' opinions. This thing should take me all but like 5 minutes to install, which I will verify tonight, boost leak wise. We're going to drive down the road, but this will be a different video. We got Josh's over there torn the fuck apart. So we're pulling a trans and doing some other things, but yeah, so we'll see where we're at, but Bertha has just been reliable. I need to make that point to you guys as well. I know this is going to be like one of these videos that we're just talking and information wise. But I do get guys saying, hey, why not the newer truck? And honestly, with the way this truck is set up, it doesn't make sense for me to buy one because, one, they're a hit or miss anyway. I've heard horror stories, but like I would have to cut this bed up anyway to fit my setup and drill holes and do this and that and run wires. I would feel bad tearing up a new truck, honestly. Like go and spend $80,000 and have a loan on a truck that also takes DEF, whereas this has a 5-inch straight pipe and I don't have to worry about it. Like,
I would never buy anything with DEF.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We had, what, 5 4th gens, 5 or 6?
Yeah.
And they all, you know, most of them.
Down to Mexico.
Yeah, they all had some parts fall off. And honestly, I don't like playing around with the EPA like I used to. It just, I will not run a DEF truck again. And this truck's been relatively problem-free. Like, this thing's cost me, I'd like to say maintenance-wise, it cost me like $500 a month to run. That includes oil changes. That includes like any little bit of bullshit maintenance. Like $500 a month. Truck grosses about 10 to 15,000 a month. I don't run full time, but also we have in here. So I think for what it is, I have the perfect truck for me, and I think that we are going to go with the Mega Cab. Oh, I know we're going to go with the Mega Cab long bed down the road, but I'm pretty sure we're going to stick with an 06, 07 platform. If the 5.9 ever blows up, that's when it'll get a 6.7 because it's a bolt-in thing and I can use the factory tuning. But the 48RE is staying 100%. Like, I like driving the manual trucks, Josh, but I don't like owning one 100% of the time. Yeah, but then you get to the point where it's like anybody who says, I hate these people, anybody who says it's cheaper to own a diesel truck than a gas truck is a complete moron.
It's like you'll go farther in between braking them. Like you need a large savings on a diesel truck.
But it's like, yeah, you'll go a longer time without braking the diesel truck, but then when the diesel truck breaks, it's like everything's expensive.
That's why you see them getting parted out all the time. You're like, oh, it's been great for 5 years.
Or clapped out.
It's like, oh, I need 3 to 5 grand.
This truck was absolutely clapped when I bought it, and now I could drive to California and back with 20,000 pounds behind it, and it won't break.
That truck's been great, considering the shit work that's been done to it.
Yours has all the oil leaks. We're taking care of that, though.
Yep.
Anything that I haven't touched yet, because I didn't do anything with the front case, or any problems that you're having now are just things that I haven't physically gotten to yet or needed to get to.
I'm not having problems.
Like the crank sensor.
Yeah.
That, you replaced it. I never touched it. And the shutoff solenoid, you only pulled it off because the crank sensor went out, so you just wanted to zip tie it in the on position.
I got home after 1,400 miles. I couldn't even I couldn't start the truck.
Yeah, you ran with no alternator.
I had the pop started out of the Loves. I had no lights, no nothing. I get home with that little John Deere battery, and I had 9 volts. Like you hit the brakes and
little John Deere somewhere, if I can get my finger right there.
John Deere.
But yeah, case in point, this truck's just reliable as all hell. I don't see a point in ever going to a newer truck. But as for the diesel trucks are cheaper than gassers, that's not true at all. I spent probably about $15,000 on this truck to get it where it's at. So I'm pretty much, I paid $16 for the truck. I put about $15 into it. She's reliable. It has AC. It has cruise control. The only thing is I would like to get a steering box down the road, but it's not as hateful. Like I know I get some comments on it. It's not as bad as you guys see in the videos. Like the video definitely over-exaggerate it. But it just runs. It has 50 over injectors, a mild built 48, the bigger tires and wheels, which are staying. It's 4-wheel drive, 373 gearing, stock turbo, which is going to change down the road because we're going to go with a 2nd-gen swap eventually. Just haven't figured out what turbo I want to run, and I also don't want to bite the bullet and spend the $3,500 to do it.
If it helps you influence, personally, I think a 62 millimeter on my truck is a little too big.
I just want to, like, maybe a standard S300. I wouldn't even mind 2nd-gen swapping the factory turbo. It's just one of those, like, the factory manifold I just want to get rid of at some point. Plus, it's a sound thing. I like the sound of them. That's it. That's literally it.
Sound of that.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Too, but it's not as loud as I would hope for.
Mine's loud as mine's way louder than yours. If you really get on it and get behind it, Bertha's loud as shit. With that 8-inch axle dump, which if I do the 2nd-gen swap, the axle dump is gonna have to go because I'm just not gonna be able to handle how loud Bertha is. It's just like right now the truck's loud, but like I can have a conversation in the cab.
My neighbor has a beautiful sounding 6.7.
Yeah, this is the shop right now. Mine luckily is just a boot. Like this is what I mean. Things like this. This is the $80 in maintenance this month. Like, and then I paid for the AC. So I have done, yeah, Josh bought this because he's going to have a bill. But $80 plus, I think, for everything AC-wise was $302 plus the $50 for my dad to charge it. I got to go get him some payment when I get some cash in. But $350 plus that, so it cost me $430 this month for this truck. And I'm going to go out, and it's going to make me another $15 this month. I think we're on the lower side. We might just do $12 this month. I think we're going to do $12, but she's been good. It's been a good truck. No oil leaks, no none of that. But unless you got some 2 cents. Oh yeah, we are going to pick up a trailer. I bought a 32-footer with 8K axles. It is going to get converted to a fifth wheel. And before anybody asks in the comments why, it's because I don't want to take the gooseneck or the fifth wheel out. Battery tow low to use flash. Okay. I don't want to take the fifth wheel out to have to use the gooseneck when I already have the gooseneck in here. So apparently my phone's dying. I'm going to call this video here. Unless Josh has something to say. Do you have anything? You have anything going on? No? Yeah?
No. Get in the gym.
No. All right. Yeah. So we're done. I'll get this on and you'll see it in another. All right. So I got the tube in last night. You guys can see down there. So we're at the old shop now. I'm going to be doing a boost leak test just to verify that everything is good. When you fix a leak, you might as well verify it, and that's what I'm going to do. I need his compressor because I don't have one. Other than that, I wasn't going to finish this video off without just doing something, right? There we go. Get that off there. This will come out. I can pull this whole assembly up. Set that over there. And then we'll pull this guy off. All right, boys. We had it up to 30 pounds. And she's pretty good. I don't hear any leaks. Also keep in mind that when you're doing this, that there is going to be some leak down with the cylinders. That's just normal, but here, I'll do this again and pop it up to 30. Right there. Right there's 30. I hear no leaks. So, keep that in mind. You're gonna have the leak down with the cylinders. But yeah, that's pretty good. So now that we know that we got all the boost leaks out of it, we can start screwing around with some other stuff. One day I would love to do the second gen swap on this thing. Financially it doesn't make sense, but just one of those things. I've always wanted one, and it's gonna happen one day. I know it will. Got her. So this is a test that I recommend you guys do on your vehicles anyway, just because like these boost leaks, they creep up. You never really know you have one until it's too late. I don't like how that's rubbing. That's supposed to be in there, but whatever. So no boost leak. She's drained back down to 0, so I'm gonna get this thing taken off, and then we're good.